And we want to bring you a little bit of breaking news that's coming into Sky News at the moment. And the Queen has tested positive for COVID. The news coming in from Buckingham Palace. We know that Prince Charles tested positive for a second time, and that was along with the Duchess of Cornwall. And they both isolated after that positive test, after an engagement in central London. But we're hearing that the Queen has tested positive. The Queen is 95 years old. She's tested positive. We know that at the moment, what we're hearing is that her symptoms are mild. But just to reiterate that breaking news, if you are just joining us, that the Queen has, she's tested positive for COVID-19 and she's experiencing mild cold-like symptoms. We're hearing that she expects to continue the lightest of duties at Windsor this week. We know Prince Charles also tested positive along with Camilla. So we expect to hear a bit more from Buckingham Palace as we go on. But what we do have coming into Sky News is that the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. She will have medical attention, say the Palace, and she will obviously follow all appropriate guidelines. That's coming from the Palace. We know that her symptoms are mild and cold-like. But we know that she's tested positive for COVID. And this, I imagine, was that close contact that she may have had with her son, Prince Charles, who tested positive for COVID for the second time. All symptoms we're hearing are mild at the moment. These were the last pictures that we saw of the Queen engaging in her first face-to-face duties in a while. This was last week, and as you can see, she looks well and she looks very happy. But we're hearing here at Sky News that the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. What we do know so far, what we're hearing from the Palace, is that her symptoms are mild, so cold-like. She will continue to carry out the lightest of duties from Windsor next week. And of course, as we get more information on this breaking story, we'll bring them to you. And just to repeat that we knew, didn't we? We heard that news that Prince Charles tested positive for COVID, and he held his first engagements, didn't he, after that second bout of COVID last week. And what we were hearing from the Palace is, in terms of Prince Charles and Camilla, those symptoms were very mild too. We know that she is expected to continue light duties from the Palace. All of this is coming from Buckingham Palace, by the way, that she will continue with very light duties. We know that her symptoms, as it stands, are very cold-like, and she will continue with work. We know she is a very diligent person and will want to continue with whatever she can continue to do. We know that Prince Charles said that he bounced back very quickly from that second bout of COVID. And we're hoping to hear more from the Palace later. But what we do know, if you are just tuning in to Sky News this morning, Buckingham Palace say that the Queen has tested positive for COVID-19. She will follow all procedures, so isolating at Windsor. She will carry out some light duties, and she will have medical attention around her, given her age. They want to, make sure that this is a precaution, that she has this medical care around her to keep an eye on her as she gets through this in the next few days. We know that Prince Charles recovered quite quickly from COVID-19, but here we are, that the Queen testing positive after almost 2 years of coronavirus. She has tested positive for COVID-19. That's coming from Buckingham Palace.